Welcome to the Blokes podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Greg. And we sit down once a week to shoot the breeze. We chat about anything and everything. Sports, films, drinking, politics, music, etc.
So sit back, crack open a beer and enjoy. Hello there, gentlemen. How are we today?
Hello. Very good, thank you, good sir. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Listener, you are very, very lucky indeed because we have yet another guest with us on this evening's show. Say hello, Eric.
Well, hello. How's it all going, everyone? Oh, it's good to be back. Been let back into the virtual pub. Oh, man, it's been a long time.
Good to have you back, mate.
Cheers, thank you for having me.
Eric, please tell me that you've filled out the QR code thing. You've scanned your QR code.
Yep.
You've left your details at the front of the ye old Prince's elbow.
Exactly.
For obvious reasons. Or, like the rest of us, you just get your phone out and you point it in the general direction and then close it again and then walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. M. Mouse has entered the pub with his good friends, Mr. D. Duck. And but no, it's good to be back. I mean, it's a strange irony being in the Prince's Elbow because on today all the pubs have opened up for outdoor service in Wales, so it's like the real McCoy.
Only 2 weeks late, but fair enough. Good job, well done, you. Thank
you. That's we're all so pleased with that patronising tone. That's really good of you. But I mean, at least we waited for the good weather. We weren't like some lizards outside of the pub in Stockport, having a burger in the howling wind. But no, it's any boozer is good to be back in or out of, as the case may be.
Yeah. So,
have you got any reservations coming up, or any big nights out planned?
Well, we were having our lunchtime stroll because where I work, it's on the seaside, and we normally have a nice half-hour stroll around the town just to blow off the cobwebs. And we cut back through the town, and there are a few open-air pubs on the high street and in the town itself, and it took all of our strength not to make a sharp left turn straight into the beer garden and just ring reception and say, can we have the out of offices on? We're in a meeting. You'll see us tomorrow. What happens,
Sandra,
happens.
hold my calls.
Pretty much. So no, but we were talking about actually maybe having a lunchtime engagement or a swift one after work on Friday, depending on how the mood takes us. I think it'll probably be the swift one after work. But no, actually, tell a lie. Before then, I'm doing my civic duty. I'm getting my COVID jab on Thursday night because they're really pushing up here to get the young uns vaccinated. And as soon as I've had that heavy dose of chemicals, I'm going straight to the pub and having a few shandies. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not pretending to be a doctor. However, I do think a good couple of beers after an injection is a perfect way to round off the week. Just saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're making the most of it. Your tolerance is going to be lowered somehow, I'm sure, by this injection. So it's going to be a cheap night. So you'll be sorted, yeah.
And there won't be any dinner because I'll be straight to the medical centre, injection, then straight to the pub at Dub. So yeah.
I'm surprised, living in a rural seaside town, that you even need to go to a medical centre to get a jab from a stranger. Don't you just walk down the seafront? You could probably get it a bit cheaper as well.
I mean, there was the place where I work. I think it's the website I Live Here, which is a satirical website that rates people's towns, and everyone's town who ends up on it gets an absolutely scathing review. And in 2017, it was voted the worst town in Wales, with a particular tagline, a place where junkies go to die. That's where I'm going. So,
oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I mean, I think the town's lovely. However, the possibility of jabs are numerous. Most of them illegal, but
you've not just got Pfizer, AstraZeneca. You've got a whole load of ones with like long Welsh names, like 3 L's in the middle and F's. And
oh yeah. So many L's, so many F's, so many D's. Torbach,
Y's.
There we go. Yeah, that's the man alive, because the Welsh alphabet is different to the English, and there are loads of little thrown in things. Like one of them is what's known as a Torbach, which is basically an inverted chevron over a letter, and it's a bit like a German umlaut. Actually, it changes the pronunciation of the letter. However, you try explaining that to an Englishman, saying like, "Oh, so this one's got a Torbach on it." I'm like, "Oh right, what's that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a little house over the O." So I start writing it out, and I start drawing a house and a chimney over the top of the O. And they're like, "No, just give me the pen and paper here. Come on." Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Who's this clown?
So
yeah,
man, fresh off the boat. So yeah, I'm still getting used to it. But one day,
the boat between England and Wales.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, one day I'll get hold of it.
So Eric, I can see you've already cracked open a bottle of something tasty. As you're the guest, in fact, you're a third-time guest now, aren't you? Long-time listener, third-time caller.
This is it. Yeah. Every series has a bit of Eric.
Yeah, exactly. Please fill us in with what you've got in your glass this evening, good sir.
So tonight, I was thinking about us breaking out of lockdown, and very much like an early noughties girl band, I should say. The G-string of freedom is poking over the top of the baggy jeans of lockdown, just teasing us. And I thought, in honour of this great occasion, gentlemen, we're having more people round, we're partying a little bit more. So my drinks tonight are on the theme of first time after lockdown party. So I've got a really nice bottle of wine to start us off with. It's called the Chocolate Block. It's a South African wine. A friend of mine got this for me, and it can be found in Waitrose. And it's a really nice little number because it's a blended wine. So it's 71% Syrah, 11% Grenache, and then it's got some Cab Sav in there and a few other little things just thrown in. And it's on the price scale, it's a little bit high. It comes in at about £21 a bottle. Ooh. However, I would say for really good friends who you haven't seen in a while, it's a great wine because it's not too overpowering. It's quite light and citrusy. There's a lot of full-bodied wines that make it up. However, it's very, very drinkable, and it certainly isn't heavy on guests the next day. So if you do things a little bit too hard when you're first seeing your mates in the garden party, you won't have any after effects from this. So I would highly recommend it. It's called the Chocolate Block. It's at Waitrose. And believe me, just looking at the bottle now, it's going down very well. Is that one of those
glasses that holds a whole bottle? Like you see your Auntie Alison drinking out of. Big red cheeks.
I mean, I can give it a go. I mean, I've got my pleather jacket on and my black jeans on my night out, which is the classic 40-year-old woman going on a night out. I'm sure it's not just 40-year-old women. 30-year-old women may go out as well in that. But, I've got my attire on, and believe me, by 8:30, I'm going to be in a gutter.
Oh, Alison. Auntie Alison, what are you doing? Behave yourself. You're a receptionist in a primary school, Alison. Get yourself together. Oh man, that wine sounds like a beauty. Waitrose has got an incredible selection, and I must admit, even though we've got a Waitrose in the town, I don't go there to buy wine as much as I would like, just because it's pretty steep. And I think I'd just go nuts. I'd be in there and I'd look at all these wines, and I'd come out £300 lighter. So it's a dangerous game. But yeah, that's fantastic for a treat wine. Yeah, I'm Waitrose is the one for sure. So yeah, that's going on my list. And I've not heard heard of that one, actually. I've not seen it. But I do like wines that have got that style of mix, that Syrah, Cab Sav, Grenache mix. That's fantastic. Yeah, great combo. Is there any spice in there? Has it got a sort of like peppery, spicy? Would it go well with a barbecue? Because Syrah's usually got that sort of hearty, spicy thing going on, or maybe it's been chilled out by the other grapes.
It's got a little bit of very subtle spice to it, I'd say. Very subtle spice indeed. Now that you've mentioned it, I can just notice a tingle of it on my tongue. But it certainly isn't overpowering. By all means, I can imagine it would go down very well with barbecue. So yeah, by all means, I'd wholly recommend it. And as you say, it is a bit pricier. But when someone else is buying it for you, if it's a guest wine, if you're taking something along to someone else's garden party, they're going to appreciate this in the same way that I did. So yeah, shout out.
Fantastic. So just quickly, is wine in general more of a summery drink for you, or is that particular type of wine what you're going for in the summer?
I do quite like a wine in summer. I mean, normally my weapon of choice is the gin and tonic because it's just a stable drink that one can spend the whole night on, in my opinion. However, it's definitely this one is definitely a sort of a mid-afternoon garden party, stretching into the evening. Things are winding down, the fire's on the go. It would work perfectly well in both of those situations. So if you're settling in for a sesh, or if you're just popping around for a couple, this one's the good one for it. I would feel very happy someone bringing me a bottle of this, or I'd feel very confident bringing a friend a bottle of this. It would go well with a session or a civilised evening. Take it as you will.
Just say the name of it again? I feel like people they like having what's a good wine to buy for like a party, or what's a good wine to bring someone that likes wine, because myself included in that, I don't really know much about wine, so it's always good to have one in the back pocket that you can sort of get in when you need it. What's the name of it? So
it's called the Chocolate Block, and it's by a South African company. Jesus crikey me, what on earth is this? Birkenhoutsklof. So you can have a few drunken giggles over a very legitimate name.
Nice, it's fantastic. Sounds great.
Love it.
What have you got tonight, Greg?
Okay, so tonight I have got 2 beers in front of me. One of them is purely a backup because I ran out of time today. I had to send the missus in to the shop to get my beer.
Nice points for
that.
I
thought what would be interesting, and she did it somehow. And what I thought would be interesting was I didn't tell her what I wanted.
Oh, cool!
Oh,
so
danger,
I just wanted to see
what
she would come back with. Where's my bottle opener? Sorry. And she's come back with a BrewDog. So thumbs up so far. Well done her. She's found the gluten-free BrewDog.
Nice. But the gluten's where all the flavour is.
I'm hoping not. So I'm opening this up now. And right. Listen, guys. We're not as young as we used to be. Right? Things affect us more now than they did when we were early 20s.
True.
Late teens. Coffee is having its effect on me, which is worrying me. It's the first time I've been worried about something. It's like my coffee intake has to be thought of now. And I don't know about you, but if you have one beer in the evening, sometimes you can feel a bit bloated. You can feel a bit gaseous. So I'm hoping maybe this is the beer to go if you're just going to have one in the evening, and to avoid that feeling that you can get. So it's an American Pale Ale, but it's gluten free. So here we go. It's going in.
So
that's some overflow here. Oh Christ!
Listeners,
don't say it. Don't mention it.
Listeners, Greg just did that thing where he took a big chug on a long-necked bottle of beer and then withdrew it from his mouth, and then it puthered out the top like a volcano.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
Dear.
I tell you what, guys. Okay, so instantly it's got that classic American Pale Ale. It's basically an IPA. It says American Pale Ale, but it's an IPA. Got all that citrusy, that grapefruit flavour, very fruity, and it tastes really nice. it's the fizziness of it is less IPA. It's not as fizzy as like an IPA or a lager or anything like that. It's a little bit less fizzy than that for some reason. I'm not sure if that's anything to do with gluten.